I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's nestle and settle in here this Thursday night. Such a fantastic show in store for you. And it's one of those things where not only do I have a guest that I just love so much, but it's about a topic that is fascinating and interesting and really allows us to dive in deeper, go beyond our reality, so to speak, right? So it's going to be really, really fun. I can't wait. And before we get to it, let me just remind you this Sunday in LA is our Sunday service. And this is so exciting. You know, there's not a lot of services offered, especially in LA, but this is an opportunity to start your morning off with spirit. We have professional mediums delivering messages from loved ones in spirit and a professional talk. And this week, this Sunday at 10:30, we have Shelley Sanders, we have Karen Anderson, Jennifer Phillips, all professional mediums going to connect to your loved ones in spirit. Then Karen Gabler, she gave this talk a few months ago. I had her on as a speaker a few months ago. She gave this amazing talk, so I really wanted her back in. And she is going to talk about the power of manifestation with one word. And I thought, oh, heck yeah. I need it. So it's going to be really fun. So it's 10:30. We have the link. I advise you to kind of reserve your seat just to make sure, because sometimes it gets so busy we have to turn people away. But if you RSVP, you get a seat, and we will live stream it, so you don't have to worry about missing it if you're in another state. But if you want a message, then you got to show up in person in hopes that your loved one may come through to you. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's always fun and such a way to bring our community together. So now getting back to our show and my guest this evening. Now, you've seen her on the show before, and you may have heard of her through Dr. Wayne Dyer. She is a past life regressionist. I know some of you are like, what is that? And some of you are like, oh, me, sign me up. So what we're going to talk about, what is past life regression? She's the author of Beyond Past Lives. She teaches, she's an author, does sessions, which I'm always referring my clients to, because I'm like, I think this is happening, and if you have a session, you'll be able to work through it this way. You know what you can't do? You send them to the expert that you know they will be in good hands with. And I have to tell you, I just love her. I love her energy. I love her spirit. I love her commitment. And I love her message and her authenticity, her integrity. Gosh, I got to keep going on and on. So let me just introduce our guest. So our guest this evening, she's originally from Bulgaria. And at the age of 13, so think of that, 13, had her first experience with past life regression. Now, that's pretty incredible. Now, a lot of us, something happens at a young age and we may dismiss it, right? You wait till it to come later in your life. But she knew something in that moment that I'm sure we were going to have her share with us, inspired her to then decide she needed to come to the United States. And we are so glad she did. So she came here, went to college, and she actually was a securities attorney. I don't know what's better, a securities attorney or a CPA. Both of us, right? We're both coming from those backgrounds, but it really helps in this work because we both want that proof, that validation. So that it actually is a good balance. So, and anyhow, what happened is she had a physical condition that then made her discover her purpose, I believe to be her purpose, and that's past life regression. So she's done a lot. She's worked with Dr. Wayne Dyer. She's worked with Brian Weiss, and now she's going to sit here and work with us. Yay. So please put your hands together. A nice warm welcome for our guest this evening, Mira Kelley. Hi, Mira.
Hi, Colby. It's such a joy to be with you. Hello.
Hi there. How are you?
I always love being with you. Love your energy. This is going to be an amazing show.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here and that that you're taking the time to share with us your understanding and your perception and your gift of past life regression. So thank you.
Thank you.
So all right. So for the audience, I just kind of, want to help them along because some people who do this work, they know what it is. But what about the beginner? So what is, first of all, what is a past life? I know it seems obvious, but in your words, how would you explain it to someone?
It's that understanding within all of us that there's more to life, more than what we've seen, what we experience every day. It's the understanding that we didn't just come about yesterday, that we're unique and different, and there's more to us. And beyond this life, there is a continuation. There is an existence. And so past life is that thread that unifies our consciousness through different times and spaces, other lifetimes we have been, other existences we've had. And I have to tell you, Colby, we all have the awareness of that in us. So, for example, we go to a new city and we just have an affinity for it. Or somebody told me, a client the other day, how she was walking through the streets of New York City and she all of a sudden paused in front of this building and she knew the insides of it, how to get to a certain floor. And she knew that right then and there she had lived in that building, in that apartment, and such a strong knowing that you cannot ignore it. Or affinity for languages or food or even people, right? You meet somebody and you say, I don't know how I know you, but I know you. And then you meet somebody else and you're like, ooh, you irritate me without me even knowing why.
Yeah, they don't even get a chance to say anything. You're like, oh.
Yes. Yeah, so we've been other times and places. This is not our only life, and past life regression is actually the process I use with people to connect with other lifetimes. Because when some of us have these spontaneous knowings, like what I said about this woman who said, I've lived in this apartment, or kids sometimes very easily tap into other lifetimes and have spontaneous memories, and that's well and good, but how rare is it, right? And regression allows us the certainty, gives us the process to actually go and experience those other times and places.
So with the regression, you take a client back kind of through. Is it using like a hypnosis or more of a meditation? How would you explain how you take a client through?
Yeah, it uses a meditative state. So the person will physically be going nowhere, but in their mind, they'll be traveling through dimensions and times and spaces. And so we use this ability each one of us has to go within and to connect with other times and places very easily. And I guide them to discover the root cause of their challenges, of their issues. And the reason why I'm such an advocate, passionate advocate for past life regression is because a regression can really be used to address anything that's going on. Why do I have this challenge with money? Why am I struggling in my romantic relationships? Why do I feel like I'm an outsider and I don't belong? What is my purpose? How can I resolve this physical condition? Why do I have this issue? Literally, there is no question that past life regression cannot address.
Yeah, and it really does help. I think one of the things, I've had a personal session from you and I loved it. And one of the things I really enjoyed that, not everyone does it this way, which is why I agree, why I'm in alignment with how you do it. You don't tell someone what they did in a past life. You let them tell you. You let them discover it. And I personally think that's so important as a practitioner to kind of let the client tell you where they've been and what they've done, don't you think? And why is it that you do work that way?
The reason why I do work that way is simply because nothing can replace the emotional understanding, the understanding of, oh my God, this is what happened, and this is what it felt like, right? People feel those things happening. They cry the tears, they laugh the laughter, they feel the love, they feel the loss. And so they come out of the experience saying, now I know, now I understand.
Yeah.
And then naturally the mind falls in place versus versus the question of why is this happening to me and what do I do about it? Now the why is answered, and now the answer of what do I do next is so easy. It's just always given. And it's so clear.
I remember what we did when you took me through it is, and it was in a way it was surprising, but maybe not. I think people, there is a knowing, right? Because there is a remembering that does happen. And so I know for me that when I did it with you, I took, and you took me on a journey through a past life, and it was incredible. It was really, really, it was incredible, and it was a place of remembering, and it was a place of reconciling the differences. So that was really incredible.
Truly, yes, absolutely. And like you said, you just connect and you experience, and all of a sudden it's different. It's easy. You don't need to struggle with yourself. You don't need to use willpower or convince yourself, right?
Right, absolutely. Well, we also have something so exciting to announce. This was really fun, and Spirit pops things in, and that's just how it goes, right? When you work with Spirit, they drop things in. And doing this work for as long as I've done it, even me, I try to ignore it sometimes when they keep bringing it in, and they always win. And so finally you have to say, okay, I'm going to do it. So after you were on my show last time, Spirit was like, do a class with her, do a workshop. And I thought, oh, gosh, that would be really great, but what would we do? And then they gave it, like, work on the past life, work on the blocks, and work on helping people really hone in on their life purpose, and using that workshop as a way to not only focus and hone on what that purpose is, but to then melt away any blocks that may be preventing them from going towards it. So I reached out to you, and you were, yes, I'd love it. And so now we have on Saturday, June 29th, the Past Life Regression and Intuition workshop that we're going to be doing together.
So exciting. I'm really thrilled that when you reached out, it was such an immediate yes on my end. I was like, of course, absolutely. It's going to be really so much fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. So it's an all-day workshop for anyone who's in LA, or if you can get to LA, for that day, I would recommend it. I mean, Mira is just one of the world's best, and again, really kind of gets in there in such a short period of time. So I think that there's going to be a lot of progress and enlightenment for anyone who attends that workshop with us. And we have so much planned for you that it's well worth it. So if you can get to LA, grab a friend, bring someone along, and really give yourself a chance. Now, we are going to take callers tonight. It's 323-992-3115. And this is a question, like if you have a question about past life regression in general, not your specific past life, but just in general, or how it works, or how can you hone it in, or anything that you want to ask about, give us a call here, 323-992-3115, and we're going to get to it. We're going to walk in and kind of take those calls as they come in, okay? So, Mira, with where you are now, how do you feel that it's unfolding for you? Do you get your information from the universe, from spirit? Like where does your inspiration come from for you?
I really love this question. Thank you. I love it. So I've been doing this work for so long now, and it's really interesting my own personal development, right? As a guide, as a teacher, and so regression has become such a smooth and beautiful and effortless process to guide people right to the root cause of their problem, and the
Yeah.
issues pop out so beautifully, and I'm so intuitively guided in the moment of everything happening, because the sessions I do are long sessions, so I get in trance with people, and I receive messages. I know exactly how to, it's just in the moment, how to guide the person. Now here's what's so interesting, Colby. If you tell me, okay, this friend of mine has this issue, and this is what's going on with them, I don't have the skills and the abilities that you do, right? You tap in and you can pinpoint the person. For me, it all happens in the moment. I communicate with you, I hear what's going on, and I lay out, and the plan just gets laid out right in front of me. I know exactly what needs to be hit in order to change your and shift your consciousness, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're really talking about consciousness transformation, because you know better. You will do better if you could, right? And yet the moment your energy changes, the moment that internal shift happens, all of a sudden doing better is effortless. It doesn't feel like a struggle. So literally my sessions are magic. That's the only word I can think of. Yeah.
Now, do you think if you work through a session with someone, um, do you think, like, for me, I guess I can only use myself as an example from personal experience. So we did some things that really helped and were exciting. And then, and there was change. Like, I could absolutely see change. But then more recently, so that session was a while ago, but some of the things we worked on, it now are really opening up and really manifesting. So that time delay a little bit. Do you think that sometimes things are a time delay, or do you think that it kind of keeps working, or do you think something else clicked? Like, how do you explain that to a client?
Each one of us is in such a different place, right? So think of it as an avalanche. Some of us are already sped up and just a bit of a push, and we're there. And some of us need a little more refocusing, and a little, another way to say it would be a little more gathering in order to learn, right? A
Mm-hmm.
little more gathering of focus, forces, learning experiences, and then it all opens up. Gosh, talking about this, I just had a conversation with a woman who she came and saw me in 2014. Now, she also told me in her email that she had sent her mom the following year to work with me because it was so impactful. And she proceeded to tell me that she came to see me because she wanted to get pregnant. Her and her husband had been trying, nothing was happening. And then they went through an in vitro process, nothing worked. And so, in that desperation, in that desire for things to be different, she found her way to me. And during our session, we did whatever we did. I don't remember anything, okay? Because I
Yeah.
work with so many people, and it was quite a while back. But either way, no matter, we did everything we had to, right? Everything got accomplished. 2 months after that, she got pregnant with her son, and shortly after he was born, she got pregnant with twin girls. And I thought to myself, gosh, we really opened up things
Yeah.
big, right? Didn't we?
She's going to have a whole litter.
So I was just so thrilled to hear all of this, right? And here we are in 2019, and it's only now that I'm learning about this, right? And so I trust that I come in the lives of people right at the moment when I can make the greatest impact, right? Right when they're needing that moment. So for those of us who are hearing, you're hearing me for a reason.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that that's really, really great. And what about, okay, so I get this so much in readings, but I don't do past life regression. What's interesting is every once in a while in a session, I will just know, like I will hear or know or be told that something is connected to a past life, but it's not my expertise to go into it. But how do you understand the idea of soulmates? A lot of people use that word, and whether we use that word or a different word, but the idea of, I know I knew them in a past life and I just feel like we're supposed to be together, but there's strife between them, or there's issues in this life, or maybe they're not the best partner, but they keep talking about this past life connection. How do you explain that, or how do you understand that?
Oh gosh. Right.
I know the show's not long enough, but cliff notes, I guess.
The connection is definitely there, right? We immediately sense it. We know it. We know it's authentic, and the other person is showing up in our life in order to help bring the best out of us. In other words, the potential for us having the greatest love story is there. We just need to align with it and take action and basically clean house in order to become the partner that is in that relationship with them. It makes sense, right? And this is where working with you, this is where working with me fits in, so that the person can literally let go of all those things that we're here to work through in order to become that person. Because the opportunity is clearly in front of us, and so that's I'm talking about things like going beyond the fear of being abandoned. I'm talking about literally allowing ourselves to receive, learning how to receive, how not to be responsible for everyone, to allow ourselves to be taken care of, right? All these different aspects that will need to come into place in order for this magical dream-like fairy tale to unfold for us. It's there. It's a possibility. You sense it, but you got to become it, right?
Okay, great. And if people kind of match that vibration, then they manifest it. Is that kind of how it works?
Into it. Yeah, yes, exactly. And we have been, I'm guaranteeing you, if you feel it, you're absolutely right that you have been with these people through other times, other places. The soul connection and the opportunities are there. So it's for us to become it.
And even if you think like, I think sometimes people, I don't know if mistake is the right word, but there are times when people say, I just know I'm supposed to be with this person. I know I'm supposed to be with this person, but it's not going to happen. Or at least I know it's not going to happen.
Because what you're reading is the probability, right? You're reading that right now they're just not there, right? They're not going to put in the work. They're not going to change and become the person.
Yeah, it's interesting. So if we all kind of work on the blocks or the things that we've been told or taught to kind of release and open up those channels, then we're going to have an opportunity then to manifest what we see for ourselves. So
absolutely. I feel like, it's very much similar to us using our gifts and talents. In other words, think of you making that transition from where you were with your work as an accountant previously to stepping into your psychic gifts, right? Your mediumship abilities. It was a choice. You made that choice. You rose up to the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, oof. I just don't want to have to go through that process again.
Right.
It's a lot when you face all your fears at once, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And no matter the field, right? Because
no matter the area,
that happens with anything. That happens with money, with health, with
love.
work, with love.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It really does. But the minute we say, this is what I want, it really does work. So, you had the privilege of working with Dr. Wayne Dyer, which we all love and adore. Is there anything that you feel that he may have taught you or shared with you that you would want to share with us today?
One of the most interesting things you noted earlier about me when you were introducing me was that sense of authenticity, and I have to tell you that's really what I loved so much about Wayne. Even though he would get on stage and he would teach and he would empower, he was the very same person you would talk to in person, the same heart, the same involvement, the same care. And so I really feel privileged to having had experienced that firsthand and to be able to say that's something great to pick up from such an amazing man, right?
Yeah.
And be authentic, connect and relate to people from a very sincere place where it makes no difference if you're in my living room or if we're here during this conversation.
Yeah.
You're still gonna get me,
Yeah,
right?
isn't it great? I saw him. It was like a smaller venue. This was, a smaller venue, and he had talked about you. I don't believe you were there, but he had definitely mentioned you or mentioned his experience, which I thought was really great. So it's kind of nice that he would always talk about you, even if you weren't present in the room.
I was
But
very blessed, yes.
but it was he was doing this thing, and it was a small group, and I just remember that wisdom and that power and that energy. And when you had that opportunity to work for him, we love the authenticity, which I think is really great. Did you kind of realize, like, I don't know, did you even have any moments of like, oh my goodness, like, can I do this? Am I ready for this? Or were you already at the place you knew that this was meant to be, that the universe had brought you two together?
I had both. I have to tell you, ahead of time, I was literally doing everything possible to keep myself calm, right?
Yeah.
Because the questions of who am I to be doing this? Wait, who me? And so I was doing everything in my power to stay calm. And the moment I walked through the front door, there was such a sense of certainty and calmness and confidence, and such a sense of I'm home and I know this person so well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't based on knowing his work and knowing his books. It was simply a soul connection of I'm home, right? My
Yes.
heart is home. We're home together as two souls meeting and having done this in many different versions through many different lifetimes. So it was just such a sense of comfort and oh, okay, let's do this.
Do you ever miss him, or do you feel a connection to him?
Oh gosh, I did it first, and then much like everybody who has been close to him, his kids, I did the very same thing where now we just communicate all the time, and I feel like now he's in a place where he can actually help me in a bigger way,
Yeah.
help me and connect with me in a bigger way. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Do you ever?
Mm.
Do you understand or feel that you talk to your own loved ones? I know that's a little bit more of my arena, but I'm just kind of curious from your experience. Do you do that for yourself, like connect like to a grandmother, perhaps?
All the time. I do the same with my dad and same with Wayne as we spoke. My dad had passed away, and I have to tell you, my dad was in a coma in intensive care for a month, and during that time, I had a difficult relationship with my dad while he was living. And during that time, we did so much internal work in my dream state. Every night, it was another layer of healing our relationship, another layer of clearing and removing things between us. And so now I know the relationship is still continuing. And actually, I have a better relationship with
Yeah.
my dad now than ever before. And of course, people will say, yeah, but he's not living to irritate you and annoy you and hurt you. But no, it's really very, I'm different, right? Naturally, things will be
Mm-hmm.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really great. That's beautiful. And I think it's wonderful when we have that opportunity to heal with a relationship, whether that be in the physical world or the spirit world. Because it does make a
Absolutely.
difference, I'll tell you. Really, we don't realize how much we hold on to things until we release them.
I have to tell you, so when I was going through that process, was so grateful for who I am and the beliefs that I have and the spiritual basis that I have because it really helped to transition things for me so smoothly as smooth as possible. And so now when I work with people who have just lost a loved one or are in a place of grief, all of it comes to serve them, right? All those experiences come to serve them, so that I can be the voice that says to people, it's okay. It's really okay. The connection continues. This is what you're learning. This is where things are.
Oh, I love it.
Mhm.
And I do, one other, and then I know we've got some callers in queue and they're like, take my call. But, one of the things, there's a similarity between our modalities, right? They're different modalities. But I think when you are driven to kind of work for the universe or work for spirit, as we like to say, they make you do self-work. Oh, yeah. Like, we don't get to skate through, do we? Just because we have that connection, we have to kind of do our own stuff, work through our own stuff. And I think they push us more than even a lot of people, because we have to kind of have a certain integrity, I believe, right? So
very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
So it's a lot of work, but also very, very rewarding. And it's incredible, the work that you do. And I'll share with everyone just real quick something personal, and then we're going to take a caller. But, when I'd always been drawn or fascinated with the Holocaust, like, I kind of read a lot and but it was also always so painful. And I know it's painful for a lot of people. I mean, obviously it would be. But man, it was so painful. Like, I just kind of either had to turn away or have tears around it. It's just very emotional. So when we did our past life, I just couldn't understand why that was. My family's half German. That was the only thing I could think of. But I don't have any connection. I wasn't there. And just through our past life, we had just kind of realized that somehow, somewhere along the way, I had been at a concentration camp. And I just think, like, through that experience, it's hard and that's painful. But it's also awakening an awareness that allows an opportunity to create healing then around it, right? And to understand, okay, this is not crazy. This is where this is coming from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How is that in you now? Do you feel any changes around that? Are your reactions different?
There's a sense of, there's still a sense of sadness, right? Because, you lost friends and family and people like that you love and that you're close to. But there's also a sense of peace, of understanding, okay, like, I can at least identify what was happening and at least identify that it got better, because you can see this lifetime. Not better just for me, but better for mankind, better universally. And there's a growth. So you get to kind of see that a little bit as well. So definitely made a big shift and a big change and a big, like, thing that, even in doing readings for people, you can understand that they may be coming from a place that they're not even aware of at the moment.
Yeah. Very true, right?
Yeah. So thank you for that, by the way. Thank you.
Mm.
And so let us take a caller or two here. So if you're going to call through, do us a favor. We're not able to do a past life regression reading for you on the air, obviously. But do you have a question about it? Or are you stuck in something that maybe Mira or myself can say, okay, we'll look at it this way or that way, or maybe this will help you get through that. So how about we take number 2 here, 916. Here we go. 916, you are on the air. And we've got to turn
Hello?
that. Yes. Hi there, honey.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you? What's your name?
Esmeralda?
Miranda?
Okay. Esmeralda.
Melda.
I'm calling because I would like to know more about how the connections work from past lives to this life.
Okay. So Mira, Melda wants to know, how does, I understand her question so completely, right? Like, okay, what in my past life is impacting my current life? Like, am I with my same husband, or is my husband now my sister? Am I stuck because of it? Like, tell us about that connection.
So the biggest challenge that you're having right now, the biggest issue, whatever that is for you, it's a question that you've been working through in other lifetimes. It's a question that you're kind of like, not trying to untie, a puzzle you're trying to solve and put together. And so who best can help you in this journey than the people who have been working through it in other lifetimes with you? Because think of it this way: not only do you have your own themes and lessons, and I'm going to use this heavily loaded word karma, and we can talk about that later, but also the family that you're born in has the same themes and shared lessons. So think of it, for example, if a woman has abandonment issues, chances are her mom does as well, chances are her grandma does as well, right? So there's the common shared thread and theme. We talk about this as ancestral karma. And then think about it this way: the job, the workspace, the workplace where you work, there's also a shared theme. The energy is connected. These are the people who are helping you unravel the questions. So does your city, so does the country that you live in. In other words, energy organizes itself in a way that those who have been with you on this journey in other lifetimes, they might change roles, right? For example, I often say to my niece, I absolutely adore my niece. And yet I look at her and I say to her, baby girl, thank you for coming through your mom, who is my sister, because it might have been quite a while for you to wait until I'm ready to have a child, right? So it's been the question of, thank you, this is the way for you to show up. Or examples where people are in an intimate relationship, a husband or a wife, where there have been parents, one has been the parent of the other, or they have been siblings, or different relationships, and yet the journey always continues. Remember, love always brings us together, life after life after life. And so that's why there isn't really anything more powerful than regression to not only help you figure out the connections, but also to help you understand the theme, the lesson, the karma, to clear all of that so that you're in a place of, now I get it. Now I know exactly what to do in this lifetime, because you're never, ever, ever going to hear from me say to you, oh, so sorry. This has been in other lifetimes. There is no hope for you. This is it. This is as good as it gets. It's not like that at all. In fact, you're in this lifetime with this challenge so that you can use your God-given right to think and to create experiences so you can actually make progress, right? That's the whole reason for this theme, for this issue showing up, because you're the one who gave yourself this assignment. You're the one who gave yourself this problem and said, this is so exciting. I get to work through this. Let me dive into this life. And how about if I gather this group of people in these roles? I'm going to organize them so they can support me in this way. And there it is. You're born. The stage is set. But then we forget, right? We forget that we put it all together. We forget that we're actually the ones who are in charge of this play. And we start playing the game of the mass accepted consciousness and beliefs of, I'm powerless. I cannot direct my reality. I poor little me. And so that's why understanding the bigger soul's journey is so critical, so empowering, so freeing. Colby, I have to tell you, after each session, every person leaves and says, I feel freer, I feel lighter, I feel different, now I understand, and now I can move on, really move on.
Yeah, I think it really helps. So, Melda, does that help you, honey? Does that make some sense to you?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night, hon. Thank you for calling in.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, so how about we do another caller? There's lining up here, but how about 850, number 3, 850. Hey, 850, you're on the air with Colby and Mira. Who is this?
This is Jen.
Hey, Jen. How you doing, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. What can we do for you this evening?
Well, I was curious to know if there's actual exercises that can be utilized to promote exploration.
Yeah. So, Mira, without an actual session, are there things people can do on their own to kind of open up this gateway to past life regression?
Jen, I really love your question. And I have to tell you, obviously, the easiest thing to do is a past life regression. I mean, straightforward. You get the stories, no guessing, no guesswork. But how about this? Right where you are, just think of your affinities for things, right? Think of, are you drawn or repelled to a specific language? Are you intrigued by a time period, much like what Colby just shared, right? The time of Nazi history, the Second World War. Do you feel an interest in specific food or culture or place? If you were to travel, where would you go? And also the challenge that you're working through. Here's a very interesting way that you can ask for more information. So if you're a dreamer, meaning the night kind, right, not the day kind, the daytime kind, but if you dream often, as you go to sleep tonight, simply give yourself this suggestion: I'm going to have a dream and connect with my past lives and experience a past life that is relevant to what I'm doing tonight. I will wake up right after the dream and I will remember the dream. So definitely give that a try as well, because dreams are a very valid way of how we connect with our past lives.
Yeah, that's really good. I love that one. Thank you.
I like that one.
Good.
That's a good one.
Now you have some practice,
Good.
but keep listening
Yay!
to the end, because we have some. If you want a past life regression session, stay tuned to the end, because we have a little something special for all the listeners out there. Okay, hun?
Okay.
All right. Bye, Jen. Okay,
Thank you.
so you're welcome. All right, time is almost out. Can you even believe it, Mira? Is that not crazy?
Yes.
We're transporting as we speak, right? All right, let us take another caller. How about 213, number 4 here, 213. You're on the air. Hey there, you're on the air with Colby and Mira. Who is this?
Hello?
Hi. Wow. Well, we know you should be doing voiceover. Who is this?
This is Catherine, and I wasn't sure that the beep was real. There you go.
It's all real. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's Catherine. And Colby, it's Catherine that is
Oh,
trained
yeah. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Colby, I'm very happy to be talking to both of you. I would love to take the workshop, but I'll be out of town, so I'm bummed out about that. Mira, when I was a child, had very, 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 very distinct recurring dream for years. I'd say a good 2-3 years. And I think in the last, maybe about a year and a half ago, I started to realize that I was remembering. It wasn't a dream. I'm now trying to access that a little stronger, or maybe to figure some things out, both in terms of the full picture of that life and how it affects me now. So I suppose I'm wondering what you would advise.
There you go, Mira.
I love your question, and please forgive the answer. It's actually a very genuine answer. The best advice I have for you is to dive into the experience, because you and I will be only speculating and trying to analyze and trying to question, and yet it might turn out to be something so different that it's easiest to just say, okay, let me have the experience, let me get the fullness of it, and let me understand the problem from all sides, so that I can really focus in this now moment and move forward with intention. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
I guess What do you mean by diving in? Like, how would you say to do that?
So diving in, when I say that, I really mean just do a regression, because much like what we've been speaking all along, nothing will give you the understanding like being able to be in the middle of the experience, feel the emotions, connect with the bigger story of the picture. Because even though you have been remembering in your dreams, you have been picking up only a small piece. And there's also the moment of interpretation, right? How have you been interpreting it? What meaning have you given it, right? So the best approach is to really connect with the fullness of those experiences to know how to move forward. Because when I work with people, not only do I guide them to okay, this is the past life, this is the future life, because by the way, we can just as easily access future lives, but I also always make sure to connect the person with their guides and during our time together, so that they understand why these lifetimes are coming through. What is the connection? Why are these things being shown? What is that we're here to learn? What are we to make out of it? Right.
Yeah. So, Catherine, basically, it's get a past life regression.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Super.
I do. Yeah. So, and we're gonna miss you on the 29th, but we hope to see you around soon. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe something will happen and the plans will change, and you will.
Well, see, there you go. That's the goal.
All right,
I would
ladies,
love
thank
that.
you so
I would
much.
love
You're
that,
welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
one of the things is, you guys, real quick, so we're just really at the last couple minutes here, but one of the things I wanted to say is, I've had a personal experience with Mira, so I understand completely why she's saying, like, just dive in and do a regression, because what happens is you get into that meditative state, and then she'll literally just start to kind of ask questions. She doesn't lead you, like it's you doing it. And so by you taking that journey, but having someone there to hold the space for you, having someone there to kind of guide to the discovery, allows you to unfold it. It allows you to kind of honestly get there quicker. Like you could sit there and spend time meditating on it and spinning your wheels and tossing back and forth and talking to 10 friends about it, but you could spend an hour and a half with Mira and get to the bottom of it.
Very true. You really said it. Absolutely.
So that's kind of it. Now, speaking of which, though, Mira, you have been so generous and so kind that to any of our listeners who mention this show, this episode, they will receive an additional 10% off a private session with you. And they just need to use the code Colby. Is that right?
Absolutely. So just email me, go to my website. You see it written there, mirakelley.com, and you'll see a form of how to email me through my website, and just say that you heard me on the Colby show.
There you go.
And I'll be happy to offer the discount, because
Yay.
I really appreciate you being with us.
I love it, and I think that's so generous of you, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
For anyone out there, sign up for her. She's got a fantastic newsletter, so she offers that. Sign up for it. You can get a private session, follow her on social media, but more importantly, come take our class, come take our workshop, Saturday, June 29th. It's going to be a past life regression and intuition, using your own intuition to manifest your soul's purpose. So, Mira, I want to thank you so much. I've loved having you on, and gosh, I'll see you at the end of the month, right?
I look forward to it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mira. Have a great night. Lots of love.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Sometimes I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.